Thanks for sticking it out with us. How was the day? Yeah? I am super excited to end the conference, well, before happy hour, on a high note. The gentleman right here to my left, better known as Crash Adams.
What's up, what's up?
So a little backstory here. About a month and a half ago, got an email saying, hey, I have this amazing band. I'm heading to your event anyway. They're local to LA. Would love to see if like 1 + 1 = 3. Like, can we put this together? I'm like, this is kind of strange. So I start looking into the story. Turns out that Vince and Raphael really came to fame and have really fueled their artistry with social media. They were discovered on TikTok. They've really built a fandom on YouTube. They have 23 million plus followers across all of your platforms. And it's really been a parallel path in terms of how social media and the ability to connect with an audience has really given you a stage, quite literally, to develop your craft and your artistry. So I want to learn a little bit about you, and then we're going to get to hear them play a couple of songs.
Love it, love it.
All right, so we were chatting last night. Let's start it off. Origin story might start a little bit longer ago than some might think. How did you two meet?
Definitely. First off, I'm Crash.
And I'm Adams.
We're Crash Adams. We've been friends since we were born. Our parents were best friends, so...
He always says they were, but they still are.
Still are best friends. So naturally, they were just like, Vince meet Raph, Raph meet Vince, become friends. And we actually did. It wasn't until many years later.
You shook hands and said, nice to meet you?
Pretty much. Funny enough, we played soccer. I used to like mess around on the drums. Like I'm a terrible drummer, but he was the greatest guitarist I knew growing up. So we'd always kind of, we had love.
Kind.
That's right. We had love for music, so we were always just kind of messing around. And then we went our separate ways for college. I was a producer and DJ. He was a soccer player, so he ended up on a soccer scholarship in the States. Once that was all over, I was making like tropical house kind of style music, which included a lot of guitar. So I just sent him a message, said, hey, I need a guitar on this song. We got together in his basement, made the song, and then have never looked back.
So at some point, a red couch came into the picture. Take me to that moment and that journey.
Definitely. So my grandmother used to have this red couch that was like in my family for generations, probably before I was born. And it ended up my uncle used to have like this little studio space. It ended up at the studio space. So we would always be in the studio making music, writing songs, eating on this couch. Like it was just like a staple piece. And every single time somebody walked in the studio, the first thing they would point out is, whoa, that red couch is really nice. That red couch is really nice. So one day we were just kind of messing around. And it actually, this was like right before COVID hit. And we had just started, we'd put together about 4 or 5 songs, and came the question, all right, how do we promote these 4 to 5 songs? And we looked at the couch, we were having this meeting literally in the room with the couch, and we're like, what if we took that out in the middle of the streets in Toronto? We're Canadian, live here now, but we were like, what if we take this in the middle of the streets and just like take a photo shoot with it, and then we'll put our music behind as like the sound on TikTok, and hopefully people hear our music. So
no one heard our music. We went really viral though. So after a while of doing that, we said, okay, well, we need to make a change. We're musicians. We did this to start, playing music and spreading our music. So we said, what should we do in our videos? And we thought, you know what? Maybe we should play music in our videos.
I do think this is interesting, right? It's like lesson 1. You caught a moment, you did go viral, but the thing you were actually trying to do, which was like get your music in front of people, wasn't actually what was connecting with the audience. So you kind of learned your first lesson around social media then.
Definitely. Like I think the first time we ever experienced it was like we were getting to a point where we were starting to be recognized by people on the streets, and our whole thing is, it doesn't matter where we are, we want to be recognized. We're wearing 2 pinstripe suits right now, and he's got sunglasses that he never takes off. Like our whole thing was, we want to make sure that whatever we do, you need to be able to dress like us. If we have fans, they need to be able to be us for a Halloween costume. They need to, sometimes it's getting to the point now where fans are showing up at shows in suits, and it's becoming the running joke with our fans. So we're like, all right, we need to be recognizable. How do we take what we're doing, because people are coming up to us on the streets and they're saying, oh, you guys are the TikTok guys, or you guys are the YouTube guys, I see you on Shorts. And we kind of got sick of it. We're like, all right, how do we stop being the TikTok guys? And then from there, we're always having these little meetings, like probably happen like daily at this point, where it's like, all right, we check, this is the content that's doing well. It seems that whenever we post a video of us in the middle of the street with a couch, it gets 1 million views. Whenever we post a video of our music video, it gets 5K views, because we all know how these algorithms work on these platforms. And so we said, okay, so it seems that our page is geared towards public prank style videos with this couch in the middle of the street. So why don't we make content that our audience will see right out the gates, but we need to make sure that our music is a focus on that content. So we started, I'll let you tell that story.
So the first idea we had was go out in public, and he was going to pretend to sing as bad as possible.
Sorry.
And then start singing good. So, you know, this guy, we're on the street in front of like 6, 7 people, and this guy's just like, Caroline! sorry. I was nervous. And then he would start singing the song properly. So we went out, filmed the video, edited it, and I remember I sent the video to him, and I said, I don't think this video's it. And he's like, you know what, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? Screw it, let's post it. We got 100,000 views in an hour.
Yeah, we were in the barber chair. We were getting our haircuts. We're like, yo, look at this.
Yeah, because we found that by posting something like that, our song went from getting 5,000 streams a day to 150,000 overnight.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, we learned something here. We actually converted.
Yeah, so that's like, right, lesson 2 is post, right? Try, see what works, see what sticks. Don't be afraid to like put something out there. You never know what's gonna hit.
Definitely, like we had posted already hundreds of videos before that moment. So we had a base of content. If you don't post, you don't have an analytics reference point. So for us, because we had posted hundreds of videos, we knew, all right, no matter what, whenever we post this type of content, it's gonna do well. And we do that all the time now. Like we'll go to our YouTube channel and we'll be like, all right, we'll sort it by popular, and it'll show us all the videos that are most popular, and we'll say, okay, over the last year, these videos have been the videos that drew the most eyes. These are the videos that converted the best. These are the videos that got the most fans to our shows, etc. And we'll basically build out another 10 ideas that are in that ballpark of those videos that we kind of analyzed. And then some will hit, some won't, but because we post so often, like we're at a point now where we're posting, like we have so many different pages. We're posting like maybe 10 to 15 videos a day. And it goes so quickly that we always have that reference point to keep looking back to adjust our strategy.
And it's obviously worked. You have, 12 million subscribers on YouTube, over 7 million TikTok followers, and, up and to the right as you guys keep going. I am really curious, so you also do brand deals.
Yes.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about that. How does that kind of work into what you do as artists?
Definitely. Brand deals is one of those things where we had always been trying to get the best results with the least amount of work in that area. And the reason is because we know what we're good at, and what we're good at is going viral, getting eyes. So we kind of left brands on the back burner, where it was like, all right, if people see our content and reach out to us, that's when we'll make the connection with the brands and we'll start partnering. But we pretty quickly realized that brands want to be a part of this journey that we're on. They want to be involved. For example, when we're putting on it could be as simple as just a one-to-one. Here's our product, post a video on it and make it work with your content. But it could also be as extensive as, hey, we're going on tour in America. How do we hit the frats in West Virginia and set up a party that's maybe on their Greek row, sponsored by a brand, which, because like I know college activations are really you're really able to incorporate the brands into it and create it. What's it called? I guess experiential. Experiential is what it's called. And so there is that side that we've learned about kind of along the way. But the moment we actually shifted our focus to, rather than we're gonna just go straight and hopefully all the brands catch up, from that to how can we approach brands to collaborate on these ideas who live in our world with us, it's made the scope of what we do wider, because we're allowed to, it's allowed us to bring events that are more outside the box. Today, in a world where algorithms want you to copy, these brands need to be creative, and you need to find ways. A perfect example that we always use is All American Rejects right now. When everybody is playing in your standard run-of-the-mill venues, All American Rejects were like, you know what? How about we play a house party tour? And how can we create UGC from that? For anybody who doesn't know what UGC, I imagine you guys all know what UGC is.
Professor Raff over here. UGC is.
But how do we make people who are there want to post about it? And you have to provide them with an experience that shows that they're in the cool thing to do. That's why they post about it.
Yep, I love that. So lesson 3, get proactive, know who you are, go find the people to partner with that makes sense for who you are, what you're trying to do.
100%.
I think last but not least, before we get into probably lesson 4, which is stop talking and play more music, is tell me a little bit about your music. What are you trying to do through your music? I think we talked a little bit last night about just really trying to spread like joy and happiness, and I loved that.
I mean, yeah, you just said it. That's exactly what it is. When it comes to, if someone listens to our music, or they watch our videos, or even meet us in person, come to a show, we want to make sure that they leave inspired. We want to make sure that they leave feeling good about themselves and just overall happy. That's just who we are. Like, I like to make people feel good. So if I can do that for as many people as possible in the world, that's our mission.
It's also part of our story. Like right now, we live in a world where sex sells, where the less clothing you wear, chances are you're probably going to go more viral. We're the complete opposite. We literally wear suits everywhere. We try to be as clean as we can. We want parents to be proud that their kids who are watching YouTube are watching us and not other acts. We want them to leave knowing that whatever generation comes next has all the knowledge they need to be successful in the world, has all the knowledge they need to make the world a better place. And we always try to live by that. That's just who we are.
I love that. I can also validate my 5-year-old and my 4-year-old have been jamming out and doing dance parties every night for the last week. So highly recommend. Should we get to it? You guys want to feel some happy music?
Definitely.
Awesome. All right, let's do it. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Crash Adams, everybody.
Beautiful.